Fletcher, can you kind of take us through the defensive game plan tonight, or at least especially what you feel like you did much better this time than the first time you played him on guys like Dorn and Enright?
Yeah, well, we gave up one offensive rebound, so that helped. But also just eliminating dribble drive and staying tight on the shooters.
Trey, how much do you guys need this?
What do you mean? Can you explain? Just the win, or?
In terms of where you guys were after the Michigan game, but also wanting to beat Indiana in your last game, presumably your last game with them.
Yeah, I mean, before the Michigan game, I mean, we're still we're headed in the right direction as a team. Michigan's a really good team. You know, I felt like we did a lot of good things. And yeah, I mean, I think it just shows kind of our growth throughout the year. We're a different team than what we were when we played Indiana the first time. And we were locked in. We still have a lot to work on, but I just like where we are. And I like the guys that we have.
Braden, you said before the game you had to treat it like a normal game. It was a normal game, but is there something extra to ending your career with this rivalry with a performance like that?
No, it's nice to get a win, and obviously by that margin. But I think for us, like, that's our expectation every game that we play, and obviously that's not always the turnout, but like that's what we always strive for and try to do. And I think that it was just a good response from us. And obviously we had Michigan on Monday or Tuesday, whatever day that was, and obviously they're a tough team, and we wish we could have had some things back there. And obviously once you come off a loss, you got to be prepared to not have two losses back to back. So I thought we responded really well and was able to kind of push that lead out early and kind of just shut them out from there and not let them get back into it.
This is for all of you. You guys combined for 53 total, the trio of you. Just being able to do this all together against this team and knowing what's at stake, you know, what do you think has worked well in this relationship that the three of you share?
I think just playing together for 4 years really helps. And obviously we've played every single type of basketball game probably possible. Have lost some really bad games, have won some really good games. So I think we've pretty much seen it all. And that's obviously our expectation as competitors, is to always perform like that. And then, like I just mentioned, like that's not always the case. So we got to figure out different ways when that's not the case to still, you know, get an advantage and win a basketball game. And I thought, like tonight, we were able to score and put the ball in the hoop, which obviously helps. But no, I mean, it's the expectation for us, and that's not to make anybody less. It's just like that's just how we hold ourselves to that standard, and we hold each other accountable. So.
Yeah, and then when you have 4 years together, I think that really, I mean, it helps so much because our games evolve, you know, with each other. You know, I knew I had to, you know, when I'm coming in, I'm playing the 5. I didn't have the short roll. I didn't have the floater. But playing with Braden, I had to learn that. You know, I had to learn that I can't shoot the ball every time, even though I want to. You know, we have Fletch on our team. You know, he's shooting 40-50% from three, best shooter in the country. And so, you know, they've allowed me to grow so much as a player, like being able to play alongside of them.
Trey, just the importance of defensive rebounding for you guys tonight. They only get one offensive rebound, and how much did that fuel your offense in some fashion?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's been, you know, the biggest thing for us all year, is when we can get defensive rebounds and when we can push the ball in transition and get easy points. That's when we're at our best. And so, I mean, today's no different.
Trey, when they started out double teaming you in the post early, with your guys making threes early, how much did you feel like that kind of opened things up for you inside? Yeah,
I mean, it's always, you know, based on their coverage, right? You know, if they're going to double me, then my job is to kick it out, and we're going to hit open shots. But then, you know, it got to the point where if they're playing one-on-one coverage, it's my job to score. And as long as I'm efficient doing that, you know, that's what we want. Then they start doubling again, we start kicking it out. So it's really pick your poison. I think Coach Payne's done a great job of allowing, you know, that push and pull.
As more bench players get more time on the court, especially with people such as Omar Mayer, how has that impacted the team overall this season?
Who's that too?
All of them. Sorry.
I think it's great. I think We have a lot of guys that really care about this team and this school winning basketball games, so they put in a lot of work. So to see guys go out there and perform like Omer, who kind of struggled early on in the year, to go out and hit shots, it just credits all the work he puts in. And same with those other guys, that Shikari, Benner, Daniel, everybody that comes in off the bench, Liam, everybody.
Right. Oh, okay. Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead.
For Braden, just obviously you guys were playing through Trey early in the game. How did that open things up for you to see what they were doing from a help perspective, and how big of a deal was that, you guys shooting 67% tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you have someone that can score almost 115% of the time on the block one-on-one, I think you just kind of throw it in there and let him go play. And I truly believe that, and I think he believes that himself. And obviously when they double, then it's kind of nice. Like, I get an open shot here and there, and obviously we have shooters that are able to get open looks, and I think that's obviously nice for us. And obviously when they go in, they got to make adjustments, because if not, then we're just going to keep hitting shots. But if not, that like what happened, they switched it up, and they ended up staying with shooters, and Trey went one-on-one, and like I said, you saw the result of that.
Fletcher, it feels like these last several games, the ball movement has been pretty strong, and also the free throws you guys are shooting, the number is ratcheting up. Do you feel like there's any correlation there? Are you seeing things happening better on offense that are putting teams in tougher spots?
Not really. No, I think we're just kind of taking what they give us and making the right play.
Fletcher, did this team need to show a killer instinct? You've let some teams get back into games when you had big leads at points this year, and you came out in the second half and just buried them from the get-go.
No, it's us just doing what we talk about doing. It was obviously good to beat them by a lot. You don't want to lose to IU twice, but it was fun.
Matt, I looked, and I think you probably agree, this is the most focused I've seen Purdue from start to finish in a game in a while. Talk a little bit about the focus, how they stayed focused all game, and then, of course, Renn on the offensive board and Clough on the defensive board.
Yeah, I thought, in our last game, Michigan set the tone against us. In our two previous road games, we were able to set the tone from a rebounding standpoint. And then obviously tonight, I thought our guys did a good job. I just feel that the game just gets too hard if you can't get offensive rebounds and generate points, or get in transition and generate points. But I thought our guys were ready to play. I thought defensively, we had some breakdowns, but we were pretty consistent across the board.
Matt, what was kind of the foundation of stopping Wilkerson in the first half, and then how effective was Omer when you moved him on to DeVries?
Yeah, well, obviously we didn't stop him in the second half, but just not letting him shoot the basketball. I think as you go back and watch, film, it's like the actions that you get to. And obviously DeVries is a tough matchup for us. Really Dorn being a big part of the game the first time, and then now not even being a part of the game in terms of shooting the basketball. Like, we wanted to make sure with that. We knew Wilkerson and how talented he was, but it'll be interesting watching the tape, because he only got 3 shot attempts in the first half, and obviously he played well in the second. But he's a good player. He's very few people just come into our league and score the basketball the way he has. He's had some big-time games. Very impressive player.
Matt, staying there on TKR and Tucker, it's kind of a weird matchup for both sides. Is part of how surviving Trey guarding him on the perimeter is to take advantage of him on the other side in the post.
Right. Yeah, and I think that was, it's a tough matchup for both of them to guard each other. And Trey's a physical post. The thing, like when Tucker guards him down low, he's so good with his hands. He's good at, getting his hands in there and getting steals, getting deflections. So you got to be careful, because you can get him in some tough spots and he'll come away with a steal. So that's something that we really talked to Trey about. But we wanted to establish him. We wanted to get the ball to Trey there, but we also wanted to, be able to stay with Tucker on the other end and not let him get loose. And after the first couple minutes when he hit those 2 threes, you didn't think that was going to be the case.
This game was called pretty tight, but obviously the free throws were a factor in the first half. And I think it's just 5-6 games now where the free throws have kind of been trending, at least the numbers have been trending up.
Right.
Is that coincidental? Are you seeing things on offense that are helping manifest that?
Yeah, if you shoot a lot of threes, and so we had a game, where we shot 40 threes a couple games ago, like, you're not going to get to the free throw line shooting a lot of jump shots. just driving the basketball, trying to post up, getting on the offensive glass. All those things are going to lead to more fouls. And they were aggressive. I thought when we played them down there, they did a really good job of disrupting us. And obviously they tried to be physical there and, got some calls against them and got into some foul trouble. But, no, we were just trying to establish our low post guys more than anything. We really established TKR. And then if they wanted to double, just getting them in rotations, after that and trying to attack those rotations.
Matt, you were critical of your team's effort at Bloomington. How pleased are you with a full 40-minute performance where they went hard the entirety of the game?
Yeah, some things obviously went our way. We made some shots, shot a very high percentage, and anytime you do that, it's going to look better than it actually is. And but I was just pleased from a rebound standpoint. Like anytime you get 19 more possessions than somebody and you're playing at home, you're going to have success. So, the taking care of the ball and rebounding the ball are the most important things.
Matt, Braden had a lot of success denying screens and kind of just taking off as action was set up. Is that something you guys saw on tape or just Braden being Braden?
That's just him making that read. What we were trying to get is more just, some of those transition ball screens on the wing. So now coming down to get a good angle, if they're going to fight that, now it's, unless they've established a low man, which they don't have one a lot of times, now it makes that guy run in to help. And if you can break that down, so anytime you turn down or reject a ball screen, a lot of times defensively you don't want that. You want to push it into the ball screen, so you push it into your help.
Matt, how important was it to, they were doubling TKR early.
Right.
To have your guys make the shots they made early and
Right.
then they switch it up. Like, what kind of predicaments do you feel like?
Yeah, they're getting it out of there. And, obviously they respect his ability to score down there, and they're doubling, and they do it a couple different ways. And so now if we throw it out and get good shots and miss them, they're going to live with it, right? They're going to live with that because we were getting good shots and we were making them. And now they have a decision to make, right? Are we going to stay one-on-one and maybe give some ball side help and not come with a double and get in a rotation? So the one thing about dealing with the post-up guy is that you can put the other guys where you want. They can't control that, right? So if we want to cut through, we can cut through. If we want to stay ball side, we can stay ball side. If we want to get post splits, we can get post splits. If we want to dive a different guy, we can. If we want to hold people out. And the reason I throw all that at you is that changes rotations. And so if you just run one thing and do the same thing every single time, and you don't even do anything on an overloaded side, or you don't look at things from a screening standpoint, now they can get set on their double and they can get set on their rotation. So you can control a lot of things on defense, but you can't control where the offense puts their players.
Matt, these last two games for Omer, what are you seeing from him, and what kind of weapon can he be off the bench as you get ready for the
Right.
postseason?
Well, he was great tonight. I mean, you kind of see that we have more than 5 starters. I think that's been the statement, and that's some things we told him in recruiting. Like this will be a tougher year where things will open up more for him his sophomore year in terms of an opportunity. But he's been great, man. He's worked hard. He's putting in time. But it's just a trickle down, from our seniors. Our seniors are that way. And so it really, really helps in his growth, his development. But he can go. Like he's a good player. Like nobody on our team is surprised about the way he's played. But he's really given us a punch off the bench.
Coach, a dominating win like this, especially against IU, how does that set the tone for the rest of the games in the regular season heading to tournament?
Yeah. It's just kind of how you're playing. Like I said earlier, things look better when you make shots. You can get a little carried away with how good you think you are, because if you don't make all those shots, it just looks like you're not doing very well, but you're really executing well. It's like when we missed a lot of shots against Nebraska. I thought our guys really executed, but the shots didn't go in, so it didn't look. So when they make their run, people are like, well, what's the problem? Well, you don't understand basketball. If you're, we're getting good shots, we're just missing them. And then you miss free throws and things come from that. But no, just trying to build on things. And, it's we play to win the Big Ten championship and, have success in the NCAA tournament and hopefully go to Final Fours just like everybody else in the country. But not being able to win a Big Ten championship was tough. That's tough. But we're the ones that lost the games, And so, like, we got to try to get better and try to improve. And so I thought this was a great bounce back for our guys because it's hard to take, man. It's really hard to take when you have goals and you have lofty goals, and now one of them is probably out the window. It is out the window, but.
How much progress has Omer made through the course of the season as an off-ball catch-and-shoot guy? It's probably not a role he was
Right, that's a good question.
in. Thank you.
Yeah, he's been a ball-dominant guy, you know, as a player, at least the stuff that I've watched, you know, in FIBA basketball. So, like, he's been a ball-dominant guy. He's had the ball in his hands a lot. So now playing off the ball, you know, more, he's gotten comfortable doing it. But he just, you know, he's been able to shoot before he got here, right? Like, he's a good player. I think it's really helped him grow having to play off the ball because he'll have the ball in his hands a lot, you know, going forward, you know, next year. But no, he's really done well. And the thing I'm impressed with is really with all of our bench guys is just the maturity because not every night's going to be their night. You know, when you play 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 17 minutes or whatever, it's hard because sometimes you do play well and you don't play more. And, you know, that's difficult.
Matt, this is Purdue's most lopsided win over Indiana since 1969. How difficult is it to pull off something like that in a rivalry like this that's always so competitive?
Yeah, just, you know, our ability to make shots. Like I thought just, you know, Fletcher Lawyer has a perfect game, doesn't miss. Omer comes off the bench, and is that his career high? 18 is career high? Yeah, and gets his career high. It's terrible I have to ask. Yeah, it's rivalries are great in college basketball. I mean, they really are. It's great for the fans. It's great for the players. You know, and that's like in our league now, and it's so big, it's like a corporation. Like more people can do that if they want. And so, like for us, that's a good thing. I think Indiana goes to the NCAA tournament. I think all of our two plays. I think we're the only team that has all three of their two plays as NCAA tournament teams. So, like, you want to play better teams, and that for us, Indiana's been so good through the years, you know, we want to play them because it helps us. It helps us get better, and we haven't had a lot of success in the last 4 years, to be honest with you. I think we're 4-4, and, you know, just, you know, trying to be more consistent. But I think you learn a lot, you know, through that competition.
You know, Darren, just how do you coach a team? It's a veteran team, but a team through a night like this where it just sort of feels like offense is a struggle, eventually defense kind of becomes a struggle. Just how do you sort of keep a team together and focused on a night like this?
Yeah, nights like these are hard. I mean, you're obviously everybody knows how good Purdue is, and you know, when they're playing at a level like this, it makes it incredibly challenging. So I thought they were terrific. You know, responded, you know, incredibly well from, you know, a tough loss against Michigan, Michigan wasn't losing anybody that night, you know, in the last game. But I thought, you know, they did everything they needed to do to put us in some tough spots tonight and took advantage of it, especially on the offensive end. We just, you know, can never get them under control.
Yeah, Coach, what did you feel were the biggest issues that led to the rebounding disparity in this game?
Yeah, I thought, you know, the biggest thing was, you know, their inside presence is you know, something that with both their 4s and 5s that is a challenge for us to either play one-on-one or, you know, make the decision to double, and it seemed like they had an answer for whatever we did. So, you know, we doubled some, we didn't double some. You know, we came with different guys, and they seemed to have a solution for a lot of it. You know, the offensive rebounding, they ended up with 6. Now they didn't miss a ton of first ones, so you know, I thought we were battling on the offensive glass. We just couldn't get enough first shot stops. That was probably even more of a bigger problem for us.
Yeah, Darren, in terms of, you know, you guys had a lot of foul trouble, obviously, especially in the first half. Do you think the guys got thrown off at all by that in the second? You know, kind of coming out of halftime, not sure how to go at them defensively without kind of drawing a foul. Do you think that threw you guys off at all?
I don't think so. I mean, I thought we got through the half fine. You know, they had, you know, I think it was 15 free throw attempts in the first half. That was, you know, not keeping them off the line is a big part of getting stops too. Because if they're able to score from the free throw line, they'd score well enough without getting freebies from there. So certainly the foul trouble was part of it. But no, I thought our guys were playing got through the half pretty much in good shape. Connor had the three, which makes it challenging for him. But overall, no, it didn't have an impact on the game.
Coach, you took 2 timeouts before that under 16 timeout in the second half. What did you see go wrong from the time your team left that locker room to that second timeout?
Yeah, I thought we came out offensively. I thought we got some really good looks in those first few possessions. Didn't convert on them, but I just didn't think defensively. Again, I didn't think we had them under control at all to start that half, and didn't want to have happen what happened and have it get away from us too quickly. So trying to burn the timeouts early to see if we can grab something, get something going, but we just couldn't get to anything going there.
Yeah, just how much of what happened here, what happened in Champaign, what happened at just these loud, high-level road environments is just raw execution, or just is it raw skill? Just what do you think is kind of that hindrance when you guys play these high-level, squads? On the road.
Yeah, it's a incredible environment. It's a tough place to play. It's what makes this home court advantage what it is. These type of environments do present some challenges and stuff, and that's what makes college basketball so great. We have the similar advantage at our place. Great environment. It's tough to come in there and win. It's tough to come in here and win. You got to play well, and I thought we didn't do our part tonight, and certainly Purdue was on point tonight. They played really well.
Coach, you got 12 points in 26 minutes out of Tatum Conaway tonight. How important is he down the stretch of the rest of the regular season?
Yeah, I thought he came in, gave us some good minutes tonight. I thought he did a good job of getting downhill, getting some paint touches, getting to the rim. Certainly gives us a little burst there that I thought he did a good job with taking advantage of.
Coach, you only had 8 attempts from 3 in the first half. I think Lamar didn't make a shot from the field. What were they taking away, and do you feel like you guys, it seemed like once you guys figured out to get in the paint and get some back cuts and dives, that was the answer?
Yeah, and we certainly came in with a game plan of doing that. We wanted to get paint touches because even in our first game in the second half, they did a good job of limiting the amount of threes that we got. Even though we were to come out ahead on that one, they still did a pretty good job of defending us. So we wanted to get more paint touches. I just thought they had us on our heels, until we got going a little bit. Tatum got in there, was able to get downhill. We got more paint touches, opened it up. So we just couldn't get enough stops to have it mean anything for us really the whole night.
Tucker, what's the level of frustration after a loss like this, especially given that it's to Purdue?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's pretty difficult, but, I think it's important for us to understand that we got some big 4 games coming up down the stretch, and we're playing for a lot right now. And I think, it's important that there's not much that we can do right now about this previous game, but we can learn from it and move on to the next one and use this to get ready for these next 4 games that are massive for us, trying to make that NCAA tournament, which, we've certainly put ourselves in a position to play meaningful games coming down the stretch of the season.
Darren, Tucker just kind of hit on this a little bit, but after these 2 losses to Illinois and Purdue, pretty wide margin, how do you keep the team focused on this stretch run that really means so much to get into the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, these guys will be focused. They'll be ready to go on Tuesday. They have been all year. We played 2 really good teams. Got beat on the road. Disappointed that we weren't maybe certainly more competitive in the games to make it come down to the stretch. But we got to let those go. We got to go beat Northwestern, and that's Northwestern team that's put up a good fight every single night. So. We got to go home and we got to take advantage of being at home now, and that's our main priority.
Along that same line, given the urgency of late February, how important is it that you just wash this away, learn what you can from it and wash it away, and how important is it coming off this that you get to go home for 3 games?
Yeah, we can't hang on to this one very long. I mean, it's right here. It's that stretch run right now. So it's the only thing that matters is your next one, and we got to go home, get ready. Got a couple of days to do it. So, Tuesday's the next big one, and that's what our focus will be.
Coach, Trent Sisley, another game, single-digit minutes for him. I guess as it kind of unraveled for you guys, was there ever a thought of maybe getting him in, trying to mix things up a little bit, even though that's not ultimately what happened?
Yeah, I mean, we continued to battle almost right up till the end there. We had the guys out there that we thought could, certainly continue to do that. Guys have been in the rotations a little bit and tried to give Trent a little bit. I think he just got a couple up and downs in there, but just a decision we made to go with the guys we had out there.